Hey everybody, it's your boy OP Casual. How's everybody doing today? Today I'm proud to introduce to y'all the Furious Melee build for humans. I'll give you the low and full health versions, as well as if you want to utilize power armor. I go over everything you need to know, perks, legendary perks, gear, mutations, all the goodies. And if y'all could like and subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated and it would go a very long way in helping me put out more content for y'all. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to start off with our special distribution. We have a 15 to strength, 1 perception, 10 endurance, 7 charisma, 9 intelligence, 7 agility, 7 luck. And our legendary perks. We have max rank of strength, endurance, and luck for plus 5 in each of those categories. We got rank 2, take 1 for the team, and rank 2 agility, and then rank 1 funky duds. You eventually want to max out those 3 cards, and this is going to be your setup for not using power armor. If you want to use power armor and want extra survivability, that's fine. You go ahead. I'll suggest keeping funky duds if you're doing like the later rounds in the raid or something with high poison damage. And then you can drop these 2 cards, luck and your agility. And I'll show you what perk cards you can take away to make up for these points lost. And then the one I would highly recommend in the raid is the power armor reboot for a chance to auto-revive when down in power armor. And or you can also opt for electric absorption for a chance energy damage or recharge our power armor's fusion core and health. Other than that, that's going to do it for our legendary perks. Moving on to our regular perk cards. Now I'm going to go over each of these perks individually and give you the flex options for each category, as well as what cards you can replace them with. Now, mind you don't have to keep the points of whatever card you dropped in that category. You can move those points to a different category to get a card that would better suit you. And right now, this is set up for our low health. If you want full health, that's very easy. You're just dropping 3 cards. You're dropping Nerd Rage, Radical, and Serendipity. And like I said, as I go through each of these categories, I'll show you the flex options of what you can use to replace these cards with. Also, this is not set up for power armor. If you want to utilize power armor, that's fine. If you want to get more duration out of your fusion cores, I would suggest grabbing power user for fusion core duration is increased. And then over here in the strength, I would suggest drop in 2 points either into one of your slugger cards or your blocker card, depending on if you want to lose out on a little bit of damage or a little bit of survivability. But if you're doing the raid, I would suggest survivability. So with those 2 points, you're going to go ahead and grab your traveling pharmacy, and we are utilizing the chemist backpack mod for our regular armor. And when we get our power armor, we lose out on that effect, so this is why we grab that and replace it with that. Alright, now let's go over our cards. Starting off in the strength, we got rank 3 of Slugger, Expert, and Master for our 2-handed melee weapons. If you don't want to use 2-handed melee weapons like auto axes and chainsaws, you can also opt for your Iron Fist for punching attacks, or Gladiator for 1-handed melee weapons. And again, you just grab Gladiator, Expert, and Master, and then same thing with Iron Fist. And moving on, you got rank 3 Blocker, rank 3 Incisor, and then some other cards you can grab in here are just really just quality of life cards, rate reduction cards. You could grab Barbarian if you like for added damage resist, but you're not going to get really too much out of that. But other than that, let's go ahead and move out of our strength into perception. We just got rank 1 to purchase bounty, and that's just because we gotta have 1 point in the category. So we choose purchase bounty because we are a carnivore and we utilize our meat-based meals a lot because we get a lot of our damage resist, and other perks from eating. Other than that, you can just really go for any other quality of life cards in here. There's not really much else in here that's going to be beneficial. Endurance, we got rank 2 Life Giver, rank 3 Ironclad, this could be a flex card. Rank 1 Iron Stomach, rank 1 Caffeine, again another flex. Rank 2 Through Hiker, rank 1 Thirst Quencher, rank 3 Fireproof, rank 1 Radical. Again, if you're not low health and utilizing full health, you don't need this card, you can drop that. And rank 1 Starch Jeans. Other cards you can grab in here are a higher rank of Caffeine if you're trying to prolong your chems. You can also opt for a Remnant if you're trying to be max damage. Or you can grab Vaccinated if you're in a situation where you're prone to get disease. This may not be a bad card to grab, because if you do get disease, you're going to lose out on cards like Thirst Quencher and Iron Stomach. Moving on to our Charisma. These three are going to be flex cards. Party Boy, rank 3. Inspirational, rank 1. And Strange Numbers, rank 1. And then we got rank 2 Tenderizer. Some other options you can grab from here are Bodyguards for extra damage energy resist if you're on a team. Friendly Fire, if you're utilizing that chainsaw with the flamer mod, you can use it to heal NPCs or other friendly players. You can also opt for maybe Suppressor, but I would really only recommend this in the raid maybe, but even then it's not really all that needed. And then moving on, Intelligence, we got rank 3 Nerd Rage. Again, if you're not low health and you're full health, you can drop this card. Then we got max rank of Science, Expert, and Master. Other options you can grab in here are, and these three can also be flex cards. Yeah, they put out damage, but it's not that much damage to be that much noticeable. So if you need to, you can start dropping these to replace other cards that you rather have, or other cards that would be beneficial to you where you don't have access to these cards yet. You don't have enough legendaries, perks unlocked to be able to make up for the points for it yet. So yeah, these three can be flex. And other options you have in here: Field Surgeon for extra survivability. I highly recommend using this if you're doing raids. You can also do maybe First Aid. I would only recommend that if you're doing the full health version. Makeshift Warrior or Stable Tools for our melee weapons break slower. Other than that, like I said, you can go ahead for Power User if you're using Power Armor. And moving on, Agility. We got rank 1 Evasive, rank 5 Adrenaline, and this can be a flex card, but for most likely you're going to be utilizing this card in most situations. This is just mostly for boss fights with little to no ads, because without ads to get our kills to proc this card is pretty much dead. So that could be a flex, like I said, if you're just doing a boss, like the first boss in the raid. And we got rank 3 Dodgy, which can also be a flex card. If you're full health or don't have access to canned coffee, you can go ahead and drop this, because keeping up our AP regen would be a little difficult. And other options are, you can opt for Action Boy if you are full health and need an extra AP regen. Born Survivor for extra survivability. And I think that's pretty much going to do it in here. You can also get Moving Target for extra resistance, but it doesn't provide too much, so it's not really, don't really have to worry about it. And then finally, in our luck category, we got rank 3 Bloody Mess. This can be a flex card as well. Rank 1 Serendipity. Again, if you're not low health and full health, you don't need this card. Rank 1 Ricochet. Rank 3 Class Freak can be another flex card. Rank 1 Curator, another flex card. Rank 1 Junk Shield. Make sure you're holding 100 pieces of junk to fully maximize resistances out of this. I suggest maybe like loose screws, if you're doing anything that you won't drop your loot on death, which is like events, daily ops, expeditions, raids. I carry it most often because most of the time that I do die is in one of those scenarios, so I really don't worry about it. Or you can go ahead and get Vault Steel. It doesn't weigh that much, and you don't lose that on death. And then we got rank 2, good with salt. Other options in here are really not that other many options in here. It says for quality of life cards, really. Guess you can get like luck of the draw or the one that repairs the armor, but really there ain't anything else that would benefit us in this category. Alright, now moving on to our mutations. We have adrenal reaction. Don't worry about this if you're full health. This is for low health. Bird bones, carnivore. Eagle eyes, don't worry about this one. I plan on making this guy a goal after this and switching between melee and ranged weapons. Herd mentality. You do want to be on a team for that card to proc. You don't have to have anybody on your team. You just create a team with you by yourself. And that's going to give us +2 to our special. Marsupial, Speed Demon, and Twisted Muscles. Alright, now moving on to our weapons. Alright, our weapons. You can choose from our two-handed automatic melee weapons, which are going to be putting out the most damage, which are Auto Axe and Chainsaw. Auto Axe, you want the electric mod, Chainsaw, the flaming mod, and dual bar. You can also opt for any other melee weapon, one-handed or two-handed, non-automatic, automatic, whichever one you want to utilize will work. As long as the first effect is furious. And with the new Ghoul update, the effect changed to +5% damage per onslaught stack, +9 max stacks. Second star you're going to want is heavy hitters for extra power attack damage. If you use a non-automatic melee weapons, I suggest rapid for weapon speed. Our third star is strength. That goes no matter what weapon you use. And for the fourth star, if you have it, I suggest pounders. This is going to give us +10 damage per onslaught stack with +10 max stacks. Or if you don't have access to this yet, just utilize any 4-star mod that will give you bonus damage. Moving on, that will conclude our weapons. Exercise from the Gamma Gun. I suggest having a Gamma Gun to help keep our rads low if you're low health. That's a nice little benefit. And moving on to our armor. I have a full set of Thorn armor. This is going to cause our melee attackers and melee attacks to cause bleed damage, but you do not need this armor. You can also opt for any armor that you have access to that's going to give you the best damage resist. If you want the best damage resist with the jetpack, I suggest Secret Service armor, all depending on your playstyle. But the important ones are for the effects is for low health, Unyielding for the first star, or if you're full health, Overeaters. Second star is strength all the way around. You can also opt for poison resist and drop funky duds. But I would suggest keeping funky duds either way if you do the last rounds of the raid. You can also opt for fire resist to drop fireproof in our endurance category. You can also opt for more endurance to increase our survivability, and some of our cards scale off endurance as well. And that will conclude our second star. Third star, have a mixture of Cavaliers and Sentinels. You can do whichever combination that suits your playstyle best. You can also opt for any weight reduction mods, which is like Through Hikers or Arms Keeper. Either of those will work. Other than that, that will be it for the third star. For the fourth star, I would suggest Bruisers if you're trying to min-max your damage, or for extra survivability, Tankies. Alright, now if you want to utilize power armor, I utilize a full set of Overeaters Falcon power armor, but you do not need Falcon power armor. You can utilize any power armor that you have access to. What really matters is the effects on them, which is Overeaters for our first star, because we can't use Unyielding if we're low health anyways. So this is good for low and full. Second star is strength. I have strength all the way around. And again, just like our regular armor, you can utilize poison, fire resist, endurance. And for our third star, I have weapon rate reduced and cavaliers and what was the other one? Oh yeah, sentinels. And for our first star, like I said, mid-max damage. I have a full set of bruisers. You can also opt for ages if you want more survivability. That's going to add all the some elemental resistances to all the elementals, like poison, fire, and all the cryo, all those goodies, as well as base ballistic and energy. You can also opt for reflective to reflect have a possibility to reflect damage. Rejuvenators to regenerate our health and our AP, or tankies again. I wouldn't really recommend tankies on power armor because there are better options that I just listed, but if that's all you have, it's better than nothing. So utilize what you have until you do have the ability to get those mods. And moving on. Our apparel, we have shielded Secret Service Under Armor. That's going to offer us the most strength, but you can use any Under Armor that's going to give you, that you have access to, that's going to give you any amount of strength, or endurance if you want that extra survivability. With this, it offers us both. And here's the Chemist Backpack mod that we use for non-power armor. Food that you can use. I'll go over some of the ones that you can use, and I'll go over the ones that are a big bonus for us. So you got Awesome Opossum Bacon, Baked Bloatfly, Blood Steak for max HP. This is a good one. Boiled Scorched Beast Brain for added intelligence if you're trying to XP farm. Charred Scorched Beast Liver for extra luck. Company Tea is a pretty big one for extra AP regen. Cooked soft shell meat or poached angler will add 40 max AP. You can also go with roasted Mirelurk meat for half the AP. We got Deathclaw egg omelet for health regen. Deathclaw steak for strength. That's going to offer us the most strength out of the food. Glowing meat steak for melee damage. Grilled Aztec red toad for carry rate. You got hot dog for max HP. You got Mirelurk jerky for damage resist. My mole chunks for 2 strength. I utilize this when just doing overload stuff where I'm not worried about putting up too much damage. Mutant Hound chops for extra melee damage. Mutt chops endurance, but I suggest using pemmican for the endurance because that's going to give us the most. We got, like I said, poached angler for max AP. Red scorpion steak for energy resist. There's a roasted Mirelurk meat for half the AP. Smoked Mirelurk fillets for the most carry weight out of all of them. Scroll stick for agility. Stingray fillet. This is on level with the Deathclaw steak for 4 strength. We got tasty squirrel stew for XP farming. Risky. This helps with our party boy to add extra benefits from alcohol. This gives us 6 strength. And then, like I said, canned coffee if you're trying to get our AP regen up, or if you're struggling with AP regen. And moving on to our aid. Now, Berry Mentats, Bobblehead Leader if you're XP farming. Bobblehead Melee if you're trying to min-max damage. Or magazines, anything that increases our melee damage, or anything that increases like energy damage, that because our melees use energy damage, or anything that benefits you. Some good chems to use are, you can use Fury right here. You can also use any of the psychos. Each of these are going to give you damage resist. With our armor that we use, the Thorn armor, we have no rad resist. So to make up for that, you can use Rad Shield for 300 rad resist, or Irradiated Blood Pack for 75 rad resist. And that would conclude it for our chems and everything else. And let's go ahead and showcase what this build can do for y'all. Alright, let's go ahead and show you what this can do. We are on our low health version at the moment. And right now, I'm going to pop some Fury and go for it. Oh, we need to drop our rads down a little bit more. There we go. Now we got our Nerd Rage pot. Now we're good. We're just going to go ahead and just steamroll through these guys. Now you want to try to keep your hits up so you can keep your stacks as high as you can. So just rush, keep running, hitting those enemies. Keep your stacks up. The more stacks we have, the more damage we do. And as you can see, this build is pretty tanky as well. Once we get into the next section, I'll show you just how tanky. Take a ton of hits. So not only do we put out a lot of damage, we can take a whole lot. Alright, let's see if we can get some of these guys grouped up so we can get quite a bit of damage going on at us. Come on guys, come on, join the party. But look at this. The health is barely moving at all. Alright, and let's eat. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Alright, and that will do it for our showcase. I hope you found today's video helpful and informative. And if you did, please like and subscribe. And it would be greatly appreciated. And again, it will help me put out more content for y'all. And without further ado, I will catch you all on the next one. Have a good night.